We're on, my friend.
You guys off mute?
We're off mute. We're ready.
Okay. we got a little shaken up there earlier broadcast. Make sure you got to get that mute button on.
We were off mute. I was just worried that was going to happen.
Okay,
that's always a fear.
Yeah, I know. Hey, good morning, everyone. Along with Nick Epifano, Randy Young with you, as we are broadcasting show number 2 of our Fall Sports Star of the Game program. We talked earlier with about 6 or 7 young people and their coaches about some of their adventures and things going on. Adventures. And some of the different sports that they're participating in and collecting some of their memories and things like that. So we're going to do kind of the same thing here for the second portion of the program. We'll be talking with a couple football players from Washington Courthouse and a couple of players from the Miami Trace volleyball team. We can tell you right off the bat, we had Trey Robinette and also Julian Baker scheduled for Miami Trace football for this program, but they're playing basketball scrimmage. Coach Ackley's got to get them ready. So they will not be here today, but we'll make sure they get their plaques at school. Well, a lot of things going on. We talked a little bit about it in the first show.
Yeah, we did.
But if people missed it for some reason, let's kind of really quickly recap what we've got going on here at McDonald's.
Well, we got a lot going on. We just remodeled this restaurant up here, so you get a chance, stop in, take a look. It's got a little bit of a new, fresh look to it. Kind of redid our studio a little bit, but not a whole lot yet. But got that done, and a lot of new products. They still have the Chicken Big Mac, so if you haven't had a chance to try that, you still have that for just a limited time. But yesterday we embarked on the season of McRib. So McRib started yesterday, so it's available today as we speak, and you can come in and get that sandwich. And then something new, we started Krispy Kreme donuts. We have in all of our restaurants in this area. And they're delivered fresh every day. And it's a partnership with Krispy Kreme that will eventually go nationwide. And we're pretty excited about that, to give our customers another flavor offering at different times throughout the day. And they're available all day long. And it is a product that they deliver fresh daily, that they bake and bring to us every day. So
I can vouch they were fresh. I've already had 2 of them.
Yeah, he can't eat another one.
I told Nick, I said, I'm sorry, I can't do it anymore, okay? I got such a sugar rush as it is. So we'll have to stop through the drive-thru or something and buy one for supper or something, or tomorrow morning
you can get
before you go to church.
Drive-thru inside. You can buy a single donut. You can buy a variety pack. And we have, the glazed, the chocolate glazed with sprinkles. And then we have the chocolate cream-filled donuts from Krispy Kreme. So we're excited about those.
We talked about in the past, and kind of want to reemphasize a little bit, that people, when they spend their dollars here at McDonald's, it's kind of a win-win situation, because people are investing, not only purchasing their food products and things like that, but you guys are able to share that back into the community.
Yeah, one of the philosophies we've always had is, when you spend your hard-earned money in our restaurants, we're going to give a portion of that back, and that's what today's about, to celebrate all these young folks and the great things they've done, in sports and school and the other things that they're doing. And we talked in the first round, it's pretty impressive what some of these young folks are going to do when they go to college and that kind of stuff. So we've always had that philosophy. So, I thank you for coming in and spending your money at McDonald's, and my McDonald's, because we're going to reinvest that and, do these kind of things in the community, help feed the homeless with Hands of Christ, help Second Chance, Humane Society, many other, groups within the county, and be able to do things like this with the schools and sports and scholarships and those kind of things. So it's been a blessing to us, and I thank all my employees that work hard every day to take care of you, the customer, so that we can be able to do these things, and we appreciate you enabling us to do that. So yeah, you're right. When you spend money here, you're spending money that's going to be reinvested in your community. We're going to make sure that happens. So Randy and I have had that commitment of doing these kind of things for well over 20 years now, and we're just blessed to be able to do this together and enjoy some of the things that we're going to see today. So.
And once again, we want to remind folks that for some reason maybe you're in the job market, McDonald's is hiring.
Yeah, we're always hiring. We've got some great opportunities for people if you are looking for that. So yeah, you can get online and put an application in. You'll see some advertisements today with some links that you can use and those kind of things. And also we're not open Thanksgiving Day, but we will be open at 5 a.m. in all the restaurants. Well, beginning at 5 a.m. the next day, Black Friday, and back to normal hours. So if you're out on Black Friday shopping, we'll be open till 11 in all the restaurants, and then the Leesburg Avenue restaurant is still 24 hours through the drive-thru. So if you're out late running around and visiting people and those kind of things, we'll be there for you. And also, we still have plenty of gift cards and those kind of things if you need stock and stuff or whatever. So plenty of things for you here at McDonald's. We always try to be here when you need us and serve the products that you want. So.
All right. Well, anything else?
I think I've done my plug.
I'm gonna say, man, you just rifled right through.
There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff
I know,
to talk
man.
about. Usually it's maybe we have one new sandwich or something like that, but we got there's all kinds of stuff.
So a lot of things are going on. So stop by McDonald's, or don't forget you can of course go through the drive-through, or you can also have it delivered to your home.
Yeah, you can have it delivered DoorDash, Uber, mobile pickup. If you don't want to go through the drive-through and you want to pull out front, you can do a mobile order. We'll run it out to you. So, we're trying to take care of every way that you want McDonald's. We're trying to make sure that we're there for you.
All right. So take that to heart and
come out and have a McRib.
Have a McRib.
Ohio State game, McRibs.
That's right.
State,
Still got about an hour to go, so you can take advantage of that. All right. Well, with that, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to start to talk to some football players about their Star of the Game awards that they received during the month of October, and then we'll talk to the young ladies from the Miami Trace Volleyball. So stay with us right here on the Epifano McDonald's Saturday McSports Show, right here from the Jeffersonville McDonald's on the Epifano Sports Network. All right, we're with Aiden Osborne right now. Aiden, of course, was star of the game early in the month of October. Had one of those games that probably guys sit back, maybe as longer you get away from it, the more you appreciate it. But I think you had, total 500 some yards in offense?
530.
Rush, passing, kickoff returns, punt returns. And he even went up stands and sold popcorn, I think, during the break or something. But anyway, what was your mindset in that game? Or did you just, like Coach says, you're going to have to carry us, son, go?
I don't know. I was low-key kind of nervous before the game because it was my girlfriend's team that I was playing, and she wanted us to beat them. And I was just very nervous, and I didn't know how I was going to play. I just showed up and did my thing.
What part of the game do you like the most?
Probably offense. I'm an offense type of guy. I just like making plays, big plays. I like to hear the stands roar when I make big plays and score. I like to celebrate.
Is the rushing part of the game your big thing, or passing, or just give me the ball?
It's just kind of give me the ball. I'll try to make it happen most I can. They kind of threw me at running back most part of the year on some plays, like goal line and stuff. So we have that triple option between Hood, Andrew, and me. Yeah, I think I'm just all around.
I know that you guys had a really tough start of the season, but it's no secret you guys had an unbelievable tough non-schedule. I understand that with Joe, the athletic director, and Coach Everson's kind of working on to try to, bring it back just a little bit, play teams a little bit closer to your guys' division stuff, because you guys have dropped a division stuff, and hopefully make it more competitive for you. So, but you're playing up against tough teams, and then you got into the league, and all of a sudden, I think everyone's like, what? They're in second place? How'd that happen? Tell us a little about.
Well, we knew they were good, the teams that were playing, and we had a hard non-league schedule with Granville, London. They're still in the playoffs, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're like undefeated. Granville, they're pretty good. Monroe, we should have won that game, but it didn't turn out for us. But then when we got in the league, we knew that we had to show up and try to get first place, and we knew Jackson were going to be good. We knew we could have beat them. Every team's beatable.
Yeah.
But we tried to show up, and it just didn't go our way. Then bounce back. That was after Jackson was our homecoming game. It was our first home game after like 4 away games.
Right.
And we knew we had to show up. Plus, it was our homecoming game. Then Greenfield, but we just still had to show up because you never know. It's football. Then the Trace game, it's always back and forth on the sides of the ball, and we just
like I say, we did that game, and Matthew got the start of the game on that one. But the thing is that we're sitting around, we're thinking about, and you guys, like you say, usually it's always a close game. I think like 7 years in a row it's been 7 points or less. And I kept looking, I thought, you guys had the exact same scores last year. That's just how close you guys worked to playing them and stuff like that. So now you do have some players coming back next season and stuff like that. Is there things that the coaches have already started to talk to you about, say, hey, during the off season, get a chance for not playing other sports, things like that we want you to work on?
So on the off season, our coach are thinking about doing like a workout for like players and stuff to come in. So we're thinking about the morning and afternoon. And just getting that strength that we don't really have in the weight room. It just starts off in the weight room, strength and speed. Then in the off season, we're not really sure with the QB situation with Gavin leaving. So it might be Samuel or me, but I'm not really a QB. So I just like to play both sides of the ball and just having the ball for options and stuff. And then defense, we have like a young freshman coming up as an 8th grader. There's Jevin or something like that. He's pretty good. He's a pretty big kid, and we're not really sure yet.
I was going to say there's a lot more youth on that courthouse team than I think people even realize. Because you're only a sophomore. So you got a couple more years, and like you say, Sam Piper is only a freshman. He plays some at quarterback and stuff. So you guys have the nucleus there. I think lineman play is going to be the big key, like everything else. You got to get some young guys out there to protect the line and stuff. Now, talking to you, we understand you're going to kind of get prepared for baseball season, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I'm not playing basketball this year. My main goal is to work out for baseball, get stronger, focus on my baseball game. I'm not really a basketball type of guy. I just like those two sports, football and baseball. And I think we're going to be pretty good this year. About the same as last year. I mean, we lost a couple seniors like Evan Lynch, Bryce Hazel, and all them. We'll probably be a little bit down on the skill-wise, less pitching and stuff. But I think we'll still be pretty good. And
Are you gonna mostly stay in the infield, or?
I'm not an outfielder.
Okay. Okay. No pitching.
I mean, I'll pitch a little in high school ball.
Okay. So what else do you do during the off season?
Just working out, hanging with family, socializing more with them.
Okay. Well, congratulations for an unbelievable game.
Thanks.
I mean, when we started looking at the stats and stuff, and I said, this kid didn't realize how many yards he's actually putting up. When did you finally start realizing it?
Well, after the game, my coach texted me. Wasn't like really sure. He said I had like 190 something rushing on like 2 carries.
Yeah.
Then receiving was like 270 with like 8 receptions. Then 5 touchdowns. I knew that.
Yeah.
Then he said something about like 430 something yards, like when he texted me, but we weren't really sure. Then I got a text the next day by Coach Everson. He said like 530 yards. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Well, the thing is, you like having games like that.
Yeah.
But you're hoping that you don't have to try to do the whole season like that next year.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. Okay. Well, Aiden, congratulations for the Star of the Game award, and good luck during the off season. We'll probably get you a little bit during the baseball season. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
All right. We'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk to another Blue Line player and assistant coach, Scott Coase. So stay with us right here on the Epifano Sports Network. All right, back with us now is the second gentleman that won a Star of the Game award. That, of course, against Miami Trace, and that from Washington Courthouse is Matthew Holflesh. Matt, tell us, what was the positions you played on the team?
I played starting linebacker and I played tight end.
Which one did you like the most?
Linebacker, of course.
Yeah, everybody likes to hit, don't they?
Yeah, love it.
As the season progressed and things like that, what were some of the things that you felt that your team improved in?
Oh, I felt like we improved in communication. We felt like we talked more, and that's why we started winning more. I feel like that we had better coaching towards the end of it, and the coaches heard us out a lot more.
Okay. You're a senior, right?
Now I'll be a senior this year.
You'll be a senior this year?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you look at your team and things like that, what are some of the things you're hoping that they can improve on next season for the off season?
I just feel I think we improve in the weight room. We all need to get in there. That's where it starts. Like Aiden said, we need a lot of people in there. I feel like we need to communicate again. That was the biggest thing. And yeah.
I know that a lot of things were talked about, lifting weights and stuff like that. You know, obviously looking at me, I'm not a weight guy and stuff, but to be honest with you, what are some of the things that you guys, how important is it doing the weight lifts, and how other areas does it improve your game?
I say again in the weight room, that's how the week starts. Monday through Thursday we're lifting, and that's basically the game week right there. We start practice, we lift, and we all feel like that's where it starts to win.
Does it help you in other areas like your speed and things like that?
Oh yeah, for sure. We'll go out there, we'll run, and then we'll get faster. We just improve our strength and ability.
When you look at the teams that you played, and we talked about with Aiden, and we'll probably talk to Coach Coe about a little bit. First 5 games were, I call it murderer's row. You guys just, I thought, those poor guys, I mean, they're just getting hammered all over the place and stuff. Then you got into the league and things really started to turn around for you. What was it that kind of made the second half a lot, I don't want to say easier, but more open for you guys to be successful?
I'd say that we faced a lot of adversity throughout the first half, and that we just knew that we needed to bounce back if we wanted in the playoffs. And just then we knew that Jackson, that's where it started, the Jackson game. We were going in there, we knew we could have won that game, but it just fell short. And then after that, we just never looked back. Started at Hillsborough, and that's when we just all popped off, homecoming night. And then we just felt it just started there, and we were carrying it on to next week.
What kind of things that you played against the other league opponents? You mentioned about Jackson, Trace was in the playoffs and so forth this year. What were some of the things that you saw from those programs that you would hope that the courthouse program might be able to implement in the future? Is there a certain style of play or personnel or what?
I wouldn't say that I'd say the courthouse is good, but how do I put this? I say that there's a lot of teams that that have really good football players. There's no team that's not beatable.
Right.
They have good fundamental football players, and they can do anything when you're focused and dedicated. I just feel like that's what our players need to start doing, is being dedicated and focused on what they want.
Any off-season activities for you?
Weight room.
That's it, huh?
That's it. That's where it starts.
That's where it starts. Okay. Well, congratulations. Star of the game against Miami Trace. Had an outstanding contest. Overall stats, maybe on paper it didn't look all that great, but you got them at key times. That's the one thing that drew us to your Star of the Game award. You got the key tackles, you got the key response running and things like that. So that's why you won that award. So congratulations, good luck in the future. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Matthew Coldflesh joined us here. We'll be back with Coach Co right after this. With us now, Scott Coe, who is the co-defensive coordinator and also coaches the linebackers for the Washington Courthouse Blue Lions football team, sitting in for today for Coach Everson. Scott, you look at the team, and the linebackers has always been signing kind of your guys' strength throughout the years. You guys have gotten those good athletes that can able to stop the running game and things like that.
Yeah, I'm fortunate to coach linebackers because usually there are better athletes. They're usually some of our, not our smaller kids, but in between really good athletes. So, when they're responsible, your main job is, making tackles. We need good athletes there, so we try to put them there and put them in a good position to make plays.
What kind of defense was you guys playing most of the year?
We had to tinker, with the tough schedule we had and the athletes we had and the limited numbers we had. We did a lot of tinkering, so we ran a lot of variations. We ran a 4-3, a 4-4, a 3-5. It depended on the team, the kind of offense they ran, the formations they had. It kind of depended on what they did.
When you look at your schedule, and we talked with Aiden and Matthew about it, the first 5 games obviously was murder's row. But I guess in one way it's a sign to you to, if you're going to improve, you want to take on the best, so you play the best, and hopefully that will work for you down the road. But it seemed like at least maybe helped you a little bit get ready for the league.
It did. It did a lot. The tough schedule, it was brutal. I like to have a couple easy games at the beginning to get us going, but it was brutal. But I think once we got the Chillicothe and we seen what we played beforehand, I think they realized that, hey, we got a really good chance to really compete for the league. And you could see kind of the confidence grow in the kids. And, I think we played, last 5 games, I think we played really well.
Of course, you played Courthouse.
Yes, sir.
And you coach now Courthouse. What is it about the Miami Trace game? And is it tougher as a coach or as a player?
Oh, boy. The Trace game, well, for me and I think Matt and Aiden, a lot of those kids are our friends. You hang out with them at different events and you see them all the time. And, and you sure don't want to have to hear them all year long saying they beat you.
Right.
So I think that's the motivation. And then, from a courthouse perspective, Trace is the bigger school. I think we kind of have a chip on our shoulder wanting to prove that we're the better team. But it's more when I played, it was more about I didn't want my friends at Trace to tell me they beat me. So that was always a big motivation. Yeah. And for me, it's tougher as a coach because I can't control the outcome.
Yeah, that's true.
When I played, I had some control on how the outcome was. But as a coach, you can only tell your kids so much, and then it's on them.
With the off season, I know you got probably some kids that are playing basketball, wrestling, baseball, maybe weightlifting, things like that. Is there other things that you would like to see them working on during the off season with football?
Well, this year I'm trying to get the kids in the morning if they do play other sports or they are working. So I'm going to try to have early morning weightlifting. I'll be one of the main coaches there in the morning. So they'll have another option. So if they are playing basketball, baseball, wrestling, whatever, they can get in early in the morning, or if they're working. So that's the big motivation, is give them another option to get in the weight room, so they can prepare for next year is the big thing for us.
When you talk about weights and stuff like that, I never really got the breakdown stuff. Is that basically what individually they're doing, or you just go with a full uniform, you do this much weight, blah, blah, blah?
You gear weightlifting for the program itself, but you have to also be able to individualize for the individuals. So some kids are bigger, may need to lose weight. Some kids are skinny and smaller, and you need them to gain weight. So you have to tailor it to their individual needs, but we do gear it for the whole program.
Okay. All right. Good. So anything in the off season you work on?
I'm just doing the honey-do list that I had to do that I didn't get done during football season.
You couldn't get much done during
No.
That would take some time.
Yes, so working on that. But other than that, I got grandkids. My grandkids heavily involved in sports and football, so generally work with him most of the off season.
All right. Well, thanks for coming up, filling in for the coach today. Appreciate you joining us. We'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about some volleyball right after this here on the Epifano Sports Network and the Star of the Game Show. With us now is Lauren Guest, who's our star of the game. All right, Lauren, I got to look at my piece of paper here. Can't hardly see what's going on. You were in the, I think your first game of the year, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, 9/9, I think is the date. Yeah, Wilmington.
Yes.
That's pretty good. I remembered all that. I didn't even write it down. I know.
There you go, yeah.
So there she is. Tell us a little bit about your season. How did you do?
Personally, I feel like I did really well. As an individual, I feel like I improved throughout the season, throughout practices, and as a team, we improved very well. We went to the second round of the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I feel like it went well. And
well, from last year to this year, what was some of the areas that you felt that you improved your game?
I worked on hitting and just contacting the ball and my blocking. My blocking worked on that. And
obviously, you guys, with you and Ferens and Butts, you know, you guys control that front line and stuff like that. When you're getting set up by the setters, I'm trying to learn all these technologies, even though I've been doing this for years.
Yeah.
But still, what are some of the signals you're trying to send to your setters? Like, you know, give me the ball, blah blah blah. How you do that?
so we have different like calls for it. Like I would call like ones. That's a quick ball, and she knows exactly where to set that. We work on in practice throughout the summer.
Oh, okay.
So that's just, and then like outsides have fours, quicks, and then we can switch things around, and we just communicate well. So
See, I always thought it was me. Get me. I thought it was something like that. It's numbers.
yeah,
All right.
numbers, yeah.
Now I have to remember that. What are you going to be doing during the off season?
I'll be doing club volleyball and just weightlifting and just.
What is it about weightlifting? I've been talking to a lot of young ladies
Yeah.
today about weightlifting. What part of that do you enjoy?
Oh, I enjoy just lifting and make my muscles. So I do arms. That's my favorite. But
Okay.
I do all around just to help improve, my game and just also make sure I don't get injured. Strong, strength. So
Now, you haven't had many injuries, have you?
I have not. I've had none. Yeah.
Knock on wood. Sorry about that. Now, are you
So-
going to do any spring sports?
I'm thinking about doing track this season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of get some speed build up.
Yeah, I
and
enjoyed it.
things.
I played in my 7th and 8th grade, and I enjoyed it a lot. So I
Okay.
think I'm going to play again this year.
So you're a junior,
Sophomore.
That's what I started to say, sophomore. So you got 2 more years. Still too early to start talking about college yet, or?
I'm thinking about it. Nothing's happened yet, but I'm definitely open to it.
Okay,
for
well that's
college,
fine. I mean, you're only sophomore, for crying out loud. You got time. You got
Yeah.
time. If you had an idea of, say, okay, I need to do this to improve my game for my junior year, what's that one thing going to be? And remember the coach is listening.
For me, passing. I really want to. I don't pass, but I feel like if I added that to my skills, I feel like that would be really good for me. So that's something I'm really working on this club season and
Okay.
training. So
Okay, good.
yeah.
All right, well, you heard it first. Lauren says passing. That's what she's going to be improving. So we'll
Yeah.
check her out next
Yeah, we'll
season,
see.
see what happens, all right? Lauren Guest, our first guest here on the Star of the Game. We'll have our second guest coming up right after this. All right, we're back here for our Star of the Game program as we're talking to some players from the Miami Trace girls volleyball team. Elizabeth Webb's with us right now. Elizabeth was the Star of the Game for the reserve contest between Washington Courthouse and Miami Trace. Do you sense any difference on the way your coaches coach your teams, or everything's kind of like everything's the same?
Well, since Courthouse is our biggest rivals, we knew going in that Courthouse wasn't our toughest team we play, but we still knew we had to play our hardest, and that even though they weren't the toughest, we still have to play the whole game, from start to finish we have to play the same. So the coaching was probably the same. There's not really a difference because she knew that everything still has to be the same no matter who we're playing.
I know with the fact that Coach Mace is the head coach, and of course his daughter Mariah is the assistant. She's played under him and stuff. So I would assume that the program is pretty much uniform through the entire way. Do you guys take on like the varsity? Do you play them a lot, or do you play other inter squads, or how you do that?
For most practices, like we split off like JV and varsity just so we can work on our rotations, and then at the very end, like we come together and we just like practice together, or we'll play like queens together where it's just like 4v4 and we're all mixed together. And then on Saturday practices, sometimes we scrimmage them, but not really.
Queens.
It's like where everyone is together and there are 4 lines, and it's basically just like 4v4.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm hearing all kinds of terminology, so that's why I was asking. Where do you see your game at? Things that you feel that you're going to have to improve on for next year?
I definitely need to work on like staying down better on my defense, and then just getting my vertical up. And then I can probably work like harder on my serving just so it gets more aggressive. And I can always just work on setting, even though that's not my thing. I can just work on everything.
Do you play other sports?
No, I just play volleyball. But I'm in Key Club and Spanish Club, and I show goats at the fair.
Oh, okay. So you keep busy.
Yeah.
Do you play in club?
Yeah.
Volleyball?
Yeah.
Who do you play for?
Adrenaline in Grove City.
Okay. So how much? I've heard people talking about club volleyball and stuff like that. Is that obviously it's during the off season? Mm-hmm. Do you guys play every weekend, or how's it?
Mostly every weekend. Sometimes we have weekends off, but it's mostly from like every weekend from January to May.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's 20, 30 games minimum probably.
We have 12 tournaments, I think.
12 tournaments?
10 and.
That's a lot. That's a lot of tournaments. That's a lot of tournaments. Do you guys get a chance to practice?
Yeah, we practice 2 times a week, sometimes 3 before tournaments start.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a lot of running.
Yeah.
You really must love the game.
I do.
Mom and Dad must love the game too.
Yeah.
That is a lot of traveling. How much do you want to look forward to your future? I know you're still young and stuff like that, but have you even thought about college? Do you want to play sports? Do you just want to do your studies?
I think I would like to play college and volleyball, but, well, I said that wrong. I'd love to play volleyball in college, but, I mean, if I don't get the opportunity, that's fine. But I want to study 4 years in business management and then go to dentistry school and be an orthodontist.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting field. Okay. Well, congratulations. You are star of the game for the reserve contest between Miami Trace and Washington Courthouse. Good luck to you in the future. We'll keep an eye on how things go on the varsity level in the years to come, all right?
Thank you.
All right. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more right after this. All right, we're back here as we're continuing our Star of the Game segment, show number 2. Addison Butts is with us right now. Addison, of course, 3-time most valuable player or player of the year in the Frontier Athletic Conference. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so it was really exciting to be announced the FAC Player of the Year again. It's just kind of a goal that I set for myself going into my freshman year of just something I wanted to achieve. So to be named it 3 times, it truly was an honor.
Did it make you want to, of course, obviously want to work harder on your game?
Yeah, for sure. It really encouraged me to kind of push myself and see how good I could get. And that's when I kind of decided
like, oh, I want to see like what's the highest level I can play at, and that's when I went and played at a bigger club in between my freshman and sophomore year, and that's kind of, I feel like, where I saw a lot of growth in my volleyball career.
Where'd you play at?
I played at Mintonette.
Where's that at?
In Polaris.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Found out you're playing basketball this year.
I am.
Did you play earlier in junior high or?
I played throughout middle school, and then I also played my freshman year, but I haven't played the previous 2 years.
Okay. Any particular reason you just want to do it because you're a senior? Or?
Yeah, it kind of fits into my schedule a little bit better, doesn't interfere as much with club volleyball, and since it's my senior year and I missed it, I was like, why not?
What position do you play?
Typically I'm a 4 or 5. Typically
Okay.
5.
Okay, so you got a new coach under Coach Day. You guys got a tough schedule to start off with, but you got some games there. You got some winnable games and stuff like that. Have you picked up anything, or is it still too early to pick up anything from your basketball coaching and stuff from volleyball? I mean, how different is it, I should say, besides the obvious positions and stuff like that? Is it a different philosophy between the two coaches?
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's different. I mean, we're still pretty early into the season, but so far so good.
Okay. I'll ask you that question at the end of the season, okay? When you've had more chance to think about it. What is it about playing for Coach Mace, Coach Roberts? I mean, you've had 4 years with them now and stuff like that. They've been a big influence on your life and stuff. What are some of the things that you hope that you can carry on to the next level?
Yeah, so it's been a really good opportunity to play underneath them. Both of them have truly just like pushed me to be the best that I can and have helped me grow and evolve, not only as a player but as a person. And those are all just like traits that I want to carry through, especially at the next level.
Have you decided what you're going to do?
Yes, I have committed to play volleyball at Robert Morris University.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So, Grandpa and Grandma are going to be making some trips.
probably.
Any idea of what maybe field you're going to study, or?
Yeah, I think I want to study like biology and pre-med.
Really?
Yes.
Well, these kids, I'm telling you, a lot of medicine. You know that? A lot of kids studying medicine. Unbelievable. Well, it's been a joy to watch you, but we're not done if you're going to play basketball. I'll get to see some of your games, all right?
Yep.
But congratulations on Star of the Game and your 3-time award and all-district team. And did you get Ohio?
I did.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
Show off. Anyway, Addison Butts joined us here from Miami Trace. We'll take a break, come back with more right after this.
Thank you.
Back now with our star of the game. Lauren Farron's with us right now. Lauren is, I'm trying to describe your play. You like to be all over the place. You're a good setter. You're good on the front line. You're good serving the ball. Good on defense. Is there anything you can't do?
I mean, I can't play libero. It's the only one.
Okay. Well, at least you're honest about it. I'll take you that. Tell us about your season overall.
Season was a really successful one. We really wanted to make a statement, especially with it being our 50th year. We're really proud of how it came out. Obviously, like winning the FAC, it means a lot to us, just keeping that going. And for me personally, it was more of like just being there for my team, pulling our team together, and just like playing all the way around, like you said.
It was one of those tournaments that I just cringed when I saw how the tournament draw was going to come up. Because, I mean, it's like you only had like 5 teams in the sectionals, and you know you did beat Chillicothe, and then you had to take, I think, was it Sheraton?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh, I mean, if they could have at least got one more other opponent, you know, they might have a real shot. But it is what it is. You had to go up there, and I watched it on this websites, and there was just times that, I don't know, it seemed like you guys were a little off a little bit. Is that right? Or
Sheridan was definitely a good team, and obviously we love playing teams like that, but like they definitely shocked us, like with their talent, and especially with that 2-hour drive up there, it just got us off to a slow start, which definitely didn't help us, but it was a fun game.
You guys have played some tough opponents throughout this last year and stuff. Sheraton, one of them.
Yep.
Who else?
When we went to our tournament at Circleville, we played Coshocton. I think it was Coshocton. We played Circleville. They're a pretty good team. We played Logan. They're a really good team. We lost them, and that was just a eye-opening game because they just hit that ball so fast. Just gotta sit there.
They were ranked, I think, 8th in the state, and I think they got to go to the regionals and stuff. So, yeah, they were no slouch, to say the least. You guys end up getting ranked 15th in the state. Though the boss man doesn't want to talk about it, but how did you girls respond to that, or was it just like, oh, okay, fine, we got to keep winning?
Yeah, really, we just put that to the side. We were more worried about our next game, worried about making us better, because we knew that coming up, we were going to have hard games, and that the ranking wasn't going to change if we were playing or no matter what.
So what's improvement going to be for your team next year? You personally and the team?
For me, it's really just solidifying every aspect of the game, like passing, hitting, blocking, serving, playing as an all-around player, and also being stepping up, taking a leader role as a senior, being there for my team. And as a team, obviously we're losing some pretty good players like Addison and Sydney, so we'll have to fill those roles, and which will be difficult, but we have people coming up that are really good players.
Will you be more active on the front line, probably?
Most likely, yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you lose somebody like Addison, it's hard to replace that height, but you know, how are you, 5'7", 5'8"?
5'7", 5'8", yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to help you here a little bit. You're tall. You're tall.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything off season you want to try to work on, or?
Obviously, I'm going to work on my hitting just to stay as a strong front line player, but really my defense is where I want to focus on. Just any tips, serve, receive, digging a ball, anything I can do.
Okay. Club volleyball?
Yeah.
Who do you play for?
I play for a team's elite volleyball club up in Columbus.
Okay. So that'll keep you busy during the winter months. All right. Well, Lauren, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on your Star of the Game award, and we look forward to seeing how things go for next year's team, all right?
Thank you.
All right, Lauren Ferentz joined us here. We have another guest, and then we'll talk to coaches, so stay with us right here on the Epifano Sports Network. All right, well, we're just buzzing right along. Allison's with us right now. Your sister's on the team, right?
Yep.
And Sydney's a senior. You're a sophomore.
Yep.
What's it like playing with your sister on the same team?
It's great sometimes, and then not so great other times when we sometimes get at each other, but I love it.
How much she had to pay you to say that?
Well,
You guys' roles are a little bit different, though, aren't they?
yep. Well, we both pass, but she's the libero.
What's your main part of your game? What do you feel that you do really well?
DS, so defensive specialist, passing.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Didn't you? Was it you or your sister that set some kind of a record?
My sister, yep, her 1,000th dig.
Okay. Well, your turn's coming, so don't worry about that. All right. I don't mean keep talking about your sister, but I'm trying to keep you both straight here. You've got sisters on your same team. It confuses me a little bit. As a sophomore, you obviously you've kind of gotten used to the coaching and stuff like Coach Mace over the years and stuff like that, especially in the junior high level, right? Things like that. What were some of the things that you wanted to make sure that you were able to do well, that he would say, okay, Allison, this is what I need you to do for my team?
Being a good leader. He likes those, and just communicating really well and leading the team.
What part of your game do you feel that you need to continue to improve on?
Passing can always improve.
Yeah, you see everybody seeing passing stuff. I mean, how difficult is it to pass the ball to someone?
Well, it's pretty hard sometimes.
I guess. When you say passing, what are you talking about?
So, like, just reading the ball and getting to the right spot.
I mean, to whoever's on the front line?
Yep,
stuff?
on the other side, the other team, when they hit
the
it
other
over.
team. Oh,
Yep.
okay. Who's probably caused you the most trouble from the opponents?
Chillicothe was pretty hard.
Really?
Yep.
Huh, that's a little surprising. Can't remember the young lady's name, but was a pretty good athlete for them. Her dad, her sister, her mom's a coach.
Evelyn.
Evelyn. Yeah, Hammond. Yeah, that's it. She's a very good player.
She is, yep.
She's an underclassman, I think.
Yep,
So,
she's a sophomore.
just like you.
Yep.
Oh, so you're going to have to deal with her for 2 more
Yeah,
years.
2
Oh,
more.
jeez. When you look at your team, what is one of the things that you felt has kept the Miami Trace program successful?
Our communication. We're all really close with each other, and we just talk to each other very well. And yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't want to sound like a dummy here, but when you say you communicate with each other and stuff like that, I mean, what are you communicating? I mean,
Well,
are you talking about like on the court and
On
stuff?
the court and off the court, we are all really close, and yep, just know a lot about each other, and on the court too.
Do you feel that the skills that you have, even though you're a sophomore, is it something that you may think about going to college down the road, or?
Maybe. Haven't totally decided yet, but
Okay. If you had a field that you'd like to study, what would it be?
I want to go into elementary education.
Really?
Be a teacher.
All
Yeah.
right. Love those teachers. So now, what are you going to do during the off season?
Club volleyball, and then
I don't know why I should have known that. It's going to be who you play for?
Spike Town.
Okay, I've heard of them.
Yep. And then me and my friend, we work out a couple times a week together,
Okay.
and I'm in 4-H.
Okay.
So
Show anything?
rabbits.
Really?
Yep.
All right. Good. So how hard is it to raise a rabbit?
Not too hard. I bet you could do it.
You don't know me that well, young lady. You know me, but you don't know me that well. I think I'd be dangerous. I'd be dangerous with a rabbit, so I'll be honest with you. Well, congratulations. Start of the game. You will obviously be one of the key players for the team come back next year, a lot of graduations. So we wish you the best of luck. And keep serving, as the old saying goes, I guess,
Yeah.
right? All right.
Thank you.
Allison Carter with us. We'll be back and we'll talk to the coaches as we start to wrap things up here on the Star of the Game show on the Epifano Sports Network right after this. All right, we're back here. We're talking to a couple of the coaches from the Miami Trace volleyball program. Myra Roberts, who is reserve and assistant.
Yes.
And Doug Mace, who's the head coach, the godfather of volleyball.
That's a polite way of saying it's old.
All right, I'm going to ask you a question. I think I've asked you this before. What's it like coaching under your dad?
Oh, I absolutely love it. I think we get along really, really well. I think it's
Yeah, most of the time.
most of the time. I think it's beneficial that I've also played under him, so I
Yeah.
kind of know his expectations and how he wants to run practices and what he expects from the girls. So I think that helps us work together really well.
Obviously, you guys, when you run the program and practice and stuff like that, it's basically goes hand in hand. There's not too many changes and stuff, is there?
No, not really.
Well, really, way to answer that question. I appreciate that. See, I used to do her games too, so I can really pick on her.
Yes.
What do you want to do when you go into a game? What are the things that you're responsible for besides coaching the reserve team? Do you have stats you have to keep? Strategy? What?
Yeah, so for when the varsity's playing, Coach Heather Hoppus and I, we do some stats, and then we also kind of keep eyes for him on what our girls are doing, what the other team is doing, to kind of help him make some decisions. That way he doesn't have to watch and do everything. We try to have different jobs every game, so we each have something different to look for, so we kind of report back to him to come up with the game plan for the rest of the match.
Doug, has that been kind of a change in your philosophy, or have you always been kind of that kind of a coach where you got your reserves and stuff, like you had John and all them guys coaching under you over the years?
Yeah, we've done that. I've always approached the games like that. When you're a coach, if you're by yourself, you're trying to watch it all, and you're making decisions based off of everything you're taking in. But when you have other coaches sitting there on the bench with us, it makes it really nice because we actually game plan before the match starts. So we get together as coaches and we're already saying, hey, tonight you need to be watching this area of the game, and then in Mariah's situation, because she was a setter back when she played and stuff, her main priority we always talk about is what our setter's doing, making sure she's watching, and then we'll talk together. And a lot of times, even during the match, I don't actually talk to the setter too often by herself. I'll have Mariah doing that. But it makes it nice for us having three coaches, as we're all watching different parts of the game, and then usually even at timeouts or in between each set, the three of us will talk just a little bit of what we saw, what we think we need to change, and then we try to put that all together real quick and then get that information out to the girls.
Looking at the season, obviously very successful. You won a league title. I know you don't make a big deal about it, but state ranked still.
Yeah.
You got a big win in the tournament, which is something that, as...
Especially this year with the way things shuffled around.
Yeah.
A little harder.
Oh, geez. But anyway, overall, you're very happy with the season?
Oh, yeah. We went 22-2, so that would be hard to complain about it at any time. But we were very fortunate this year. Like I say, we have, and a lot of our girls are returning next year, but the team we had this year, they just really blended well together. They all played off their strengths, and together as a team, it really went good as far as all the things we're trying to teach at practice. And then we had Addison, who was All-State, made second team, got to play in the All-Star match at the All-State. And, when you have a player like that, that's a Division I type of kid, that's few and far between. And I've been coaching a long time, at least in our area.
Right.
All the sports that you look at both our schools at Courthouse and at Trace, we've been fortunate. We get 1 or 2 every year or so that is that caliber athlete. And then you go compete against, at the state level, when you're competing in those big tournaments, you're competing against teams, might have 4 or 5 players that are Division I. But, with Addison and what she brought to our program over the last 4 years, I think she's going to have a lasting effect because, the younger girls are watching her and they want to try to be like her, and she has such a great work thought process, and she would do all the little things on the side that a lot of the kids aren't familiar with seeing or doing, and she's introduced that to our younger players, and I think so going down the road, now we're going to have our younger players trying to to be like her. And we were blessed with 4 really good seniors this year, and besides Addison, we had Sydney Carter, who was also a 4-year starter for us on the varsity team, and then Ellie Robinette and Mallory Johnson, who joined us their junior and senior year. So with having good seniors, with having Addison, and then with having the players that you just interviewed before us, along with them, it was a really fun season. I'm not gonna try to downplay it too much. They're few and far between to have a group like that.
Myra, what kind of year did you guys have on the reserve level?
The JV also did really well. I believe our record was 14-4.
Okay.
And we only had 2 sophomores. The rest were freshmen.
Really?
So for being that young, they played really, really well. We had another good group of girls at the JV level. So we were very fortunate there too.
What's it like when you're talking to the girls? I'm trying to think as how to ask this without your dad. How is it relating to how you're talking to the girls when your dad's, maybe trying to coach and maybe they think it's a little bit too harsh or something or something like that? What are you trying to teach them or talk to them about?
I think me being not quite so far removed from also being in that position, I try to find a way to relate to them as well and help them work through some problems, because I think they do look up to him and respect him. But there's also some times where I think they don't want to let you down, so they come to Heather or I. So I think you're just trying to find that good balance and that relationship between being a coach and helping them along, but also respecting them on their level and trying to help coach them through some of their rougher games, or if they're having a bad practice and you're still trying to pick them up but encourage them to keep going.
When you look back on your career, and I know you probably still got a few years left, despite the fact every year you tell me you're about ready to give it to Myra, but what is the one thing that's maybe stood out in your coaching career up to this point that you thought, pretty doggone happy with that? I was pleased with that.
We were just discussing out there. We've been very fortunate with the kids we've had overall, and I'm looking back 20-some seasons that I've been able to coach.
Yeah.
The young women that have been playing in our program are usually some of the better students of the school. There are a lot of them you see them being leaders in 4-H and other areas besides, we look at it just in our little lens of volleyball, but when you get to know the kids and see all the things they're involved with, and then see that there's some of the better achieving kids that are out there, we've been very blessed. So probably overall, we've had some championships and had kids make All-State, which is all great.
Yeah.
But it's just being around good young people is still exciting to me. I have some former players that's went on over the years and are doing tremendous things out in the world, in the workforce. And then I have some that have just been terrific parents raising great kids, and actually some of them I'm getting to coach their kids. So that's been an interesting thing. So yeah, now that I'm older and a little more mature with this, and I look back, probably the things that stands out to me the most is just getting to know these kids, and not only while they're at school, but then keeping in touch with some of them and just seeing what they go on and do after school. And stuff like Addison. I was just talking to her, and she's still wanting to do some field in medical, for college and stuff. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
To know that we didn't screw that up. As a coach, I kind of looked at it like, we want to make sure we lay the groundwork for them. That there's a few things that we do that they take with them, and hopefully in a positive way. And then they go on and just to see what then they do with their lives afterwards. That's been really gratifying to me.
Okay, good. Well, I couldn't say it any better. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up. What do you think? So we want to thank Doug and Myra for joining us, and all the kids and all the coaches that joined us for the start of the game. Now we will be back on December 21st for our Student Athlete Award winners. And these coaches will be submitting young ladies' names, I'm sure, to be eligible possibly. We'll have a male and a female student athlete from each of the 4 school systems: Courthouse, Trace, Fayette Christian, and Greenview. And we'll be talking to them on December the 21st, and we'll do a double show as well for that. So enjoy yourself. Our thanks to all the coaches that have made the fall sports season such a great success. Thanks to Nick Epifano for sponsoring these Star of the Game awards, and allowing these young people and the coaches to come up here and tell us a little bit about what's going on in their sport field. So until December 23rd, of course, we got girls basketball coming up starting Tuesday night. So get the old voice ready, right? Until then, I'm Randy Young. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye, everyone.